When focusing on the plight of African Americans, I have chosen to discuss how the song or the poem Strange Fruit confronted the realities of racism in America. And Strange Fruit was a protest song or a musical response to the barbaric practice of lynching, which was a horrifying brand of racial terrorism used to reinforce white supremacy. And it was originally written as a poem by Abel Meeropol in 1937, that then was later recorded as a jazz song by Billie Holiday in 1939. And it's reasonable to say that the song marked a turning point between Jim Crow and the civil rights era. And in the song, you can hear the powerlessness and despair of an age where African Americans were afforded very few legal rights and very little political power. You can also hear the determination and resolve, which led to a revolution in American race relations in the following decades. And it's interesting to see that rather than softening when making Strange Fruit into a song, rather than softening the black music for white ears, Meeropol made it harder, and it's clear that the song is filled with militancy and anger, and Strange Fruit would have been very hard for a black songwriter to write in Jim Crow America, or for a black songwriter to produce without fear of violent retribution. But Meeropol was just a middleman in the creation of the song with Billie Holiday, but he helped her challenge her audience rather than making her avoid threatening them. But though no one knew that when Billie Holiday first performed Strange Fruit, it would become, or she would be singing America into the beginning of the civil rights era. And it is reasonable to say that she reversed the usual relationship between a black entertainer and her white audience. And it's also interesting to hear that when she first was going to perform the song Strange Fruit, she said, and I quote, that now I've been entertaining for you, now you should be listening to me. So she was in many ways pointing out the powerful message that she was about to give to our audience. And as I said, she transformed the usual relationship between a black performer and the white audience, which made both parts confront the grim realities of racism in America in the pre-civil rights era. And the song Strange Fruit was an early cry for civil rights, and despite this, it ultimately rested on existing anger shared by progressive blacks and artists about the state of race in America. And indeed, it has been several decades since Strange Fruit was first recorded and published, and it has now become very much more common for African Americans to include political messages and confront and challenge social norms and express frustration about the state of race in America. And just to draw a line between Strange Fruit and today's black music, I'm going to mention This Is America by Childish Gambino, which, if you listen to the music and also the music video, it is clear that it is laden with metaphors about gun violence and racism in America, and also in general the state of race, which makes it clear that artists still use music to protest and confront the realities of racism in America. Thank you for listening to my clip. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask.